Hi everyone, this is your math guru. In this video, I'm going to show you how to interpret the following trigonometric graph. We have the diagram below shows the sketch graph of f of x equals a cos bx and g of x equals b sine in bracket x plus r. X is an element of from negative 90 degrees to 180 degrees. We have to write down the values of a, b, p, and r. Please don't forget to click on the like and subscribe button below for more easy to understand math concept. What I'm going to do first is to tag my graph. F of x is a cos graph, so I have f of x equals a cos bx, and the graph of g of x, I have that as g of x equals p sine x plus r. Starting with the value of a, being given the formula for the cos graph to be f of x equals a cos bx. Note that if you look at the formula, there is no vertical movement, meaning I don't have a plus q here to show that the graph has shifted from the original cos graph vertically. So therefore, what it means is to find a is the amplitude of the graph, and to find a will be the maximum displacement from the origin. So therefore, that will be rise or the maximum depth. So therefore, if you check and trace that back to the y-axis, that will be 2 units. Or if I'm to check, that's also 2 units at the bottom. So therefore, the value of a will be 2 units, which is 2. So if I rewrite my f of x is equal to 2 cos bx. The next step is to find the value of b. B is the period of the graph, and that refers to the length of one complete cycle of the wave where the graph repeats itself. For a basic cos function, f of x equals to cos x, the period is 360 degrees. So if you look at the graph given, if I start from the origin as shown, I can see that I have half of my wave for my cos graph, which means I have that within, that's going to be 0 to 180 degrees. A quick recap, if I compare that to my standard cos graph, which is in this format, what it means is that I have half of that for 180, and that simply means if I complete the graph, I'll have that by 360 degrees. So therefore, my period b for the graph is going to be 1. A quick calculation will be for 180 degrees, I had half of the wave, so therefore for 360 degrees, which is the standard graph, I'm going to have 1. So therefore my b is 1. Thus, writing the formula for my cos graph, it's going to be f of x equals the amplitude 2 cos of b is 1 x. To find the value of p and r, I'm going to use that's my sine graph, and the formula given is g of x equals p sine of x plus r. Going to my p is also the amplitude as shown, and therefore if you look at my formula, I don't have any value added or subtracted to my g of x, and what that means is there is no vertical shift. So therefore my amplitude will simply mean the maximum displacement from rest. So if I go to my sine graph and I check my crest here and I trace it back to my y-axis, that is sitting on 1. So therefore my amplitude, or my p, will be equal to amplitude which is equal to 1. So if I rewrite my sine graph, that's g of x equals 1 times sine of x plus r. So I have p is equal to 1. The next step is to find r. R, because it's added to my angle, that is the horizontal shift. A quick recap for my standard sine graph, that is my y equals sine x. I have that starting from the origin. I have a rise from the origin. That goes that way. But if you look at the graph, the origin is not starting from the origin. There is a shift to the left by 45 degrees. So therefore, what that means is there is a 45 degrees shift to the left, shift to the left. And if you're shifting to the left, what that means is my equation becomes g of x equals the sine of x plus 45 degrees. If it's a shift to the right, it would be minus 45 degrees. So therefore, the value of r equals positive 45 degrees. Thanks for watching. Bye.